Good morning. It's the last day of corn plant 25. We made it. We're loading up the old gooseneck trailer. I got a pallet of seed. It's got to go to a guy close to Berkey, so I'm taking it there. We're going to take chemicals down on there. Settle that one and these two over here. For Dad, he's going to finish spraying one load here of corn. That's what he's got left, and then go to Berkey and start spraying crops down there. So that is good. Look at that. That's a tire poker in the driveway. We're going to go down and we're going to plant the corn plot there at Berkey. Tony's going to be there by the time we get there. And then we're going to bring the field cultivator back. We're going to get the last field that we've got left here at Waldron ready to plant and get it planted here. So a lot of trips back and forth today, but that's what we're going to do. This here's the little pile of corn bags that I've got left to use up. That should be enough. I don't know if it'll be enough or not. I don't know how much is left in the planter, but between this and what's in the planter should plant the 36 acres that we've got to do up here. Building crew is here. It looks like maybe they're going to put a roof on today. That'd be awesome. We're going to strap these down and we got to go. Tony's going to beat me to Berkey by quite a bit, so I know he's got a bunch of plots to do today and he's kind of in a hurry, so I want to hurry up and get down there. We have made it down to Berkey here and getting the planter cleaned out, ready to plant this plot. We've got 4 passes to make, 4 clean outs. Just vacuuming all the seed out of the cinders. Pass number 1 in our first 4 entries. We started a 99 day in this plot, go all the way up to 112. So there's 16 varieties. It's our 4 passes. We put a set of endros in across here yesterday, so that's as far as we are gonna go. All is good. One last pass to make. And clean out one more time here. Done here. What a deal. So we're going to fold this up and just park it out of the way because we got to take the field cultivator and take that back and do that last field up to Waldron that we need to get worked down. And then we're going to come back down here and get this planter and go back and plant that. It's going to take me a lot of moving time, a lot of time getting back and forth, but that's what we got to do today. It'll be fine. Ooh, look at that plant setup. That's a nice one. Don't be this jerk. Just parks on the whole frickin' road so nobody can get by. There's nobody in that truck. They aren't here. They're planting, but they're not using it. That's stupid. Made it home, and we didn't even go home. We went straight to the field that we have left to do here. This is one of those fields with a big muck pocket in it and happens to be right across the road from where Phil's planting beans right now. I saw it. It must be behind that tree over there. He dished that yesterday. Had to go around a bunch of spots. We may fill them in later. We may not get to fill them in later. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. It's fine. We're going to see if we can't get through all this. Obviously, we've got some weeds growing here. This muck grows really good. Giant ragweed. That's what it's good for. So, but we're going to go in and start in behind the building site over here and kind of work our way across. There may be some wet spots in the back. We'll have to go around. We're just going to try and float through this muck real light-like so we don't bury a tractor. That'll make a real good video today, wouldn't it? Well, we definitely got a big wet spot back there, and the rest of it looks okay. Sometimes there's water in that spot over there, but that one looks okay. There's one up towards the front that we're going to have to go around, I'm quite certain, even though I was able to chisel through it last fall because we were so dry last fall. No more. You can see we're starting to get some weeds here. Now the field cultivator's cleaning them up really well. Like you can't see them too much after we've gone through. It's going to take some out. Some of those ragweeds may make it through, but for us here, we can still clean up ragweed with a good shot of glyphosate. I know that not everywhere is like that, but for us, that still works really well. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm not telling anybody where we're at. I have not said anything. I'm not even going to tell you who farms that, but that field, it's just getting away from you guys. Like, that's not a cover crop, that's weeds. That was a wheat field last year. I believe they had double crop beans, and that's what it looks like in May. Ouch. I don't want my fields to look like that. That's differences in herbicide programs. Like, we spend a little bit more money on herbicides than other farms do, but we use really good top-of-the-line quality herbicides that work, and they're effective, and they have residual activity that, yeah, it's not perfectly clean here, but it's not what that one was. And our corn stalks, like where Phil is across the road, they have stayed really, really clean due to the corn herbicide keeping them clean last summer, and the little bit of fall spraying that we did to kill any weeds that germinated last fall. So I'm really, really happy with our herbicide program, and I'm really hoping we don't get a ton of weed seeds from our neighbors. Oh, this is one of the worst passes of this muck. Can you guys see that dirt pushing in front of my Packer back there? Not really, because of the dust. I've got the Packer wheels down trying to take some weight off of it, but and we got the field cultivator lifted up. We're only in an inch and a half, just skimming it, trying to knock stuff down, loosen it up. But the that dirt is so light and fluffy that it just pushes in front of the Packer, and sometimes it's just treacherous down here in this muck. Can't see anything, too dusty. We're about done here, another round or two, and we'll have her knocked out. Well, this is the spot I was talking about earlier that I thought that was going to be wet and we were going to have to go around. And I kind of skirted the sides of it. It is damp on top, but it's really working just fine. There was cattails growing here last summer, or spring, or whenever. And I was able to get through it with the ripper last fall. And I mean, it's not perfectly dry, but I didn't think there was any way we were going to get through there. So, without a plan. Got a little bit of endros to do up front here, and then we're done. But we got to go get our planter, which is still in Berkey. So we're going to take this back to the farm and park it. Done with the field cultivator here for the spring, for the year. So it can get parked, hopefully, in our new barn that has a roof on it, maybe, or will shortly. We should probably also do, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, no, lift it up. It's already loose, so now it's, and then the wings motion. That's how you want to see. There we go. Now we can set that down. The field cultivator's not even in the ground. There we go. Okay, I'll just turn it. Flowing in front of that. That's what this dirt does. It just flows water. Okay, let me get these ends. The backside's got a roof. They're still pouring concrete. They texted me a while ago, said it was going to be 12:30 when they were pouring, and it's got to be close to 2 o'clock now, so I'm surprised they're still here. Go check it out. Yep, well, there's the first pad. Second one, they got just a little bit to do, it looks like. So they just anchored the forms right to the footer, drilled holes. Cool. Dad's down here with the sprayer, getting the corn sprayed. I guess he's on the last load already, so I'm taking a planter. Let's go finish planting corn. I think we gotta, yeah, that's the problem. We gotta go back to the farm and load with fertilizer, because I don't have enough to plant the 36 acres that we've got to do. So we'll have to go load up. I don't know where we're going to come out on seed. We got to plan out what we've got in the tanks. And then we've got a bunch of open bags, plot bags, that kind of stuff we've got to use up. And then I have some actual bags that are actually from last year that should have gotten planted, should get planted, but I don't know if we're going to need them all or not. And if we run short, we'll grab some out of the seed warehouse. Whoa! We are almost home, but we might have a problem. A big one. We got a track that was sowing some smoke. Ah, shoot, it bubbled. Got hot, delaminated. Dang it, that's gonna be expensive. I haven't gone over 20 mile an hour the whole trip, but it's a long trip. Crap. Okay, well, we gotta let her cool down here for a while. Crap. We're about, 3 miles from home? Not even 2 miles. The field is right over there, but we gotta go home first. Crap, what do I do about that? Well, I let it cool down for a little while. Threw as much dirt as I could find into it. I think that's mostly dust coming off of it, not smoke now. We're gonna limp home real slow here. Might go a little faster after I watch it for a minute, but right up there we have a field that's ours. And I can go all the way home from there without going across anybody else's field. I think we're gonna go through the dirt. Try and throw a bunch of dirt into that track and go off-road, because what happens is I'm always on this edge, and I try not to be right on the edge of the pavement, but I'm on the edge, and you get more weight on the inside of that track, and it gets hot, and that's what happens after 30 miles. Well, I made it to one of our fields. We were less than a half a mile from here. It's not smoking anymore, and it's cooled down, but we've definitely got a bubble on the inside of our track. That's tacky. That's not good. So we're gonna throw a bunch of dirt in here, if I can find some loose dirt. I tried to get as much as I could back there, but that's a problem. I think we wrecked the track. She's gonna fall apart. The question is how long. It's gonna be a problem. Crap. Alright, well, there's today's what should be my new Why You're a Better Farmer Than Me TikTok series. I'm gonna have to start this. Alright, well, we got a bunch of dirt in there. I put a bunch in the side to front idlers. It kind of falls out as it's going and helps lubricate and cool everything. It almost looks a touch misaligned. I'm not sure if that's from riding on the side of the road or if it's actually an alignment issue. Like, I've checked them in the past and they've been fine. You know, when we first got it, we made sure everything was lined correctly, and it was. But it definitely is rubbing on one side of the guide lugs. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's a issue with the road or not. So we're gonna go through the fields all the way home. Take it easy. We'll stop again somewhere and throw some more dirt in it and see what it looks like once we get there. Well, it seems to be doing okay here. We're crawling home through the fields at 5 miles an hour. So here's where we're at. Obviously, this is not good. Clearly, you know, long road trips are not good for them, but according to the specs in the book, like, I was not above speed. I never went over 20 miles an hour. It's set at 19.4, and that's kind of what I run at. So I don't think I did anything wrong, but I know that's not what tracks are designed for. So I talked to the dealer, the sales rep. They actually had another one of these issues like a week ago. In fact, he was out last week when it was raining and said, hey, we had this issue. Be aware, watch out for it and stuff. So I kind of like, yeah, I understand those can be a thing, or it can be something, whatever. I've seen the TikTok, so you don't have to send me that. But yeah, they were going to look into, we've only got 1,200 hours on this tractor, 1,250 right now, so they were going to look into the warranty side of it. Hopefully this track is still under warranty. The machine itself is. The track should be, but we'll see. That's a different warranty, so I don't know for sure. The question is, can I plant 36 acres with it like it is? Or is it going to explode? Because if those cables come out and it explodes on me, we're done where it sits. Right now, I'm still able to limp it around. But I can get to where we need to go, everywhere we need to go, without going on a road, staying in a field at slow speeds, and it's going to rain tomorrow. So I'm thinking that we're gonna try it, but I don't know. We're gonna get back to the field or to the farm here and park it. My boys have a baseball game in 45 minutes, so I think I'm just gonna go to that, let it cool down, and then we'll come back and reevaluate. We can stay as light as possible. I need what? I need 100 gallons of starter on the planter. That's not very much. The rest of it can go in the tank. Seed, we've got what we're gonna have. And most of that weight's on the planter anyway, but the planter is heavy. I don't know. We'll see what things look like when we get back to the farm and it cools down. The fact that it's delaminating and there's some holes in it and you can see the cords makes me very nervous. But I don't know what else to do here. Well, according to the warranty information that came with the tractor here, we're in the 1,000 to 1,500 hours and less than 48 months since we've had it, so it should be 50% covered according to that. I guess we'll see. The question still remains, can I plant 30 acres on it? I don't know. I don't like what I see from it, so I don't know. That's a problem. Yeah. It's definitely not like it's supposed to be. Yeah, that isn't. I don't know if we better do anything with it. That's getting worse, just coming home at 5 miles an hour. She's gonna blow. Alright guys, went to the boys' baseball game. Made a few phone calls trying to figure out what to do here. I don't think I can run this track. We're gonna look at it a little closer now that everything should be cool. Let's see what we can see. So we've got a little bit of wear on these guide lugs here. Just noticing this cracking here. That doesn't seem terrible. I'm not terribly concerned about that. The outside seems fine. The inside here, however, is definitely not fine. It's separated. We've got a broken cable here. Can you guys see that? I don't think I better risk this for 30 acres of corn. It's going to start wearing significantly into my idlers. Already has some. We're going to cause more problems if we do that. So we're not going to do that. Parts of it look okay. Like right here, it's not great, but probably okay. There, it's starting to separate. But over here, and especially back here, it's pretty bad. So, Phil is currently planting with the 8R. The 8R, with the Gen 5 monitor that we have in there, will run this planter. It will. Won't have near enough power, but that's beside the point. It'll pull it for 30 acres just fine. So I think what we're going to do is get the fertilizer on here that we need to do our 36 acres. No more. And then we're going to pull this out into the driveway and unhook it. We're going to put that tractor in the shop so that we can get that track off. My John Deere dealer has 2 locations that have that track. 2 different places. They're both almost 3 hours away. That's not great. They can't put it on their van and transfer it, obviously, because it's too big for that. So my choices were, you guys can go and get it, or we can stock order one in. That'll take 3 days, which might not be the end of the world if it's going to rain here. Probably would have been fine, but I decided that I would rather go and get one and, not cut it close to holiday weekend and everything else here. So we'll know that we have it and can get it put on. So we'll be ready for side dress time. The bigger issue is that's a 1,250 hours on that track, and it's blown up on me. Hopefully we get some warranty coverage. One guy at the dealership sounded like, yeah, we should. The other guy said, well, that's harder than you think. So I don't know what they're going to say. Like, I've tried to take really good care of that track. If I can't take good enough care of that track, I don't know how anybody can or does. Other than the fact that I have this one long road trip that we made today, right? Where we go 35 miles. I never run it fast down the road. I think we've had it up to 26 miles an hour like once or twice, and that was with nothing behind it, dead empty. I never go over 20 when pulling an implement. When I'm loaded with the planter, we're barely going 10, 12 miles an hour. Like I almost go as fast in the field, right? So I'm not pushing it. I've typically done a really good job of talking that track, making sure that we're putting lubricant in it, making sure it's not, running dry or anything like that, or you know what I mean, where it's well conditioned. And so if it's going bad for me under those conditions, like, I don't know. I've heard of multiple of these failures this spring. I had not heard of any until this up until this year. Like, I'm sure there have been some, but this is the third one that I know about in the last 2 weeks. Seems like a problem there. So we got to figure out what the deal is and what we're going to do. And hopefully Deere helps us out, or the dealer or somebody, or the warranty or the track company or something, because they're not cheap. Those tracks are $10,000 a piece each for the back ones each. Yeah, that's too much for 1,200 hours. Like, we should be getting 2,500, 3,000 hours, 4,000 hours on a set of tracks to make it a reasonable cost. So if it's going to be something like this, I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but like, it's going to be hard to keep this tractor around with that kind of an expense. That's super frustrating. Okay, we're close on fertilizer. My 1034O tank here is empty, but I have some in a shuttle back there. I need 100 gallons. So we're going to gravity feed that into my tank. Problem is, my hose, my little elbow drop hose that I use on shuttles, is down to Berkey. So I got to figure something else out to gravity feed that in there. We'll get it. That'll work. All right, we are free. Phil just got back with the bean planter, so that's good. That means we can go ahead and start hooking that one up to this tractor, get the bean planter unhooked. So I'm gonna go just park this right in the shop, because we're gonna take that track off as soon as we get a chance. I am pretty sure that tractor will pull the planter. Not fast, but it will physically run it. I've never done it though, so we'll find out here shortly. Well, we are hooked up here. Everything except for one hydraulic line that I don't have the right port for on the tractor, the load sense line for my Power Beyond. That may be an issue. We're gonna find out pretty quickly, but I wanna make sure I get the monitor and everything in here is working. Because we're gonna have to set up a bunch of stuff. Oh, I don't wanna mess with all of Phil's stuff. All right, we're gonna have to create a layout and all kinds of stuff. Let me mess with this. All right, I think I've got 2 run pages set up that are going to work for us. So we'll do this. We've got 500 gallons in my 2x2. We've got, what do we got? 200 gallons in there. Fill that. Okay. I think we've got enough to do this. So we're going to head to the field, get unfolded, make sure everything's working right, and see if we can't plant. Hopefully do it before daylight is gone. All right, here's test number 1. Can we unfold this thing? How do I get frame control? Right there. Yep, we're in neutral. Wing wheel lift. That's a start. Or our 3-point. Wing fold. We in neutral? Yep. I'll watch my load sense line, make sure it doesn't stretch. It should get less tight, not tighter, so that's good. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. Good news, we got it unfolded. Drop our 3-point very carefully and slowly. Make sure we don't stretch any hoses or wires or pinch anything. Okay, I think we're good there. Plant. Wait a minute, go back to that frame control. Wing downforce is on. That's important. Okay. EPG on. Okay. Oh, I gotta push my work plan to this for this field. Control on. Hydraulic motor failed to reach soft start conditions. Yeah, we might have to clear faults on. It's not running up fast enough. That's because we don't have that load sense line. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna clear that. We're gonna shut the tractor off here. We're gonna move our Power Beyond lines into the outlet number 5 and see if they run better through an actual outlet instead of the Power Beyond. Since I don't have load sense, I did get a call back from the service manager at the Deere dealer, and he said in about 2021, John Deere changed the tips on these load sense lines. So we do have the line on here, I just don't have the right tip to connect to it. It's this one. Apparently that was too difficult, so they changed it, and that's great, except for that doesn't fit. So these 2 lines here we're going to put up here since I have an extra outlet, and we'll see if that works. I think that worked. We've got EPG power and voltage and all the things. Okay, turn this control on. Okay, let me keep getting stuff set up here. Well, we're doing it. There's a high likelihood we're going to get stuck on this field, if not from one of the wet holes from the muck pocket. But we're making it. So I've spent a lot of time in this tractor pulling a planter. Like, this was my planting tractor before we got the 8RX. I pulled a 16-year-old planter for years and years and years with this tractor, and I love this tractor. I loved planting with this tractor. Super smooth. It was awesome. I feel like we're light here, like we do not have enough weight. It feels like this planter is just throwing me around. Every time I stop, turn, back up, try and do anything, it's just like whipping this tractor around, almost like the back tires are sliding. They're not. It just feels like we're light. That 8RX is so much more stable. And I've noticed that with the anhydrous applicator before, because that's heavy and 2-point mounted rigid and stuff, and it can really throw this tractor around as well. But it's much, much more stable with the 8RX. So one thing we are not, however, surprisingly, is that short on power. Like, we're running 8 miles an hour here. And I mean, it's not that much different than what I do with the 8RX, which is a 370. And this is a 335. So we're 35 horsepower short, but we don't have the parasitic loss of all the track systems. So that does make a difference. Now, we're not super heavy here. We've only got 400, 500 gallons of fertilizer on between the 2 tanks, 500, maybe 6. So we're relatively light, but still, we're moving. I don't pull this fast with the 8RX sometimes. That's fascinating to me. Anyway, let's not get stuck in the mud, especially since it's going to be dark. We are going to get to check out the new lights on this tractor, though, the LEDs, so that'll be fun. This G5 monitor here is kind of nice. I can have all 3 of my monitor things basically on the same page. Not quite as big of a 2x2 one as I would like, but we've got our infer, we've got our seed, and then I can see that my 2x2 is at least on and on target. So before I had the extended display and then the one on the armrest, this one obviously doesn't have the same monitor on the armrest, so you know, that's nice. Otherwise, things are working reasonably well. We're moving. This won't take as long as I thought it might, so that's good. I don't think I have enough seed in here to plant all of this. We've got the opened plot bags from the plot this morning on the platform, so we can throw those in when we're done, and then I figured we would have to go back and get more seed. Phil's truck is parked across the road with his tender from when he was planting over here, so we can go back and get what we need. Time to hit the lights here. I know, it's not that dark for you guys, but it's darker in person than it is on camera. I mean, that's not a bad looking rig either. I prefer the 8RX, but hey, maybe tires are the answer. I don't know. Anyway, our seed bin warning is on, so figured I better check them, see if we need to level them out, even them out, or if I should dump some of those bags in. There's a fair bit in there yet. I evened them out a little bit, and we can plan another round or two. I don't know. We might not be short that much seed. We're gonna have more. We're gonna have seed left over. Out of seed. We only have 7 acres to go, though. I think we've got plenty on the planter, so I guess that's good. It's not gonna let me use up all my open stuff, though. I bought too much. Should have planted that thicker. Assuming we make it out of the muck hole here, we're not gonna get stuck. And we're not gonna run out of seed, I don't think. I'm sure we're not now. I've still got 1 full bag on the platform that I didn't put in. I put in the open bags, and there's not much left, but if it's not enough in the tanks, look at that dirt over there. Can you see that? If there's not enough in the tanks now, then we'll just open that 1 more bag, and then we've got enough to finish. Doing the same thing over there. Climbing up out of it. And we're good. This is the hole where there was cattails a year ago. But heck, it's dry on top, so I'm sure we'll be fine here as we get stuck. Oh, we're good. Alright, well, we're going to end up in the back of the field, but that's normal. Well, that works better than expected. Yeah, tractor pulled this faster than I thought we were going to be able to, and we made it through everything. I was a little questionable a couple of times, but we made it. So we're going to fold her up and head for home. We're going to find somewhere to unhook this. My back tank ran empty on that last round, so we're out of fertilizer. At least in that one. There might be just a little bit in the pop-up tank. I had a little more than I should have in there, but that's fine. We'll drain it out. No big deal. I think we'll drop that back tank, try and back the planter into a barn somewhere, and unhook it so we can get the bean planter hooked back up so Phil can go plant beans in the morning. So we're done with corn. Thank goodness. I don't think we're going to have any corn replants to do. Just driving by, looking at the fields, most everything looks like it's there. There's a few thin spots here and there, but I don't think it's worth going and patching it in. We'll do some more looking when we get time. Of course, by the time it dries out after the rain tomorrow, we might not. The opportunity may be passed, so we'll live with what we've got, I guess. Phil's got another 120-ish, 130 acres of beans planted today, so we're down to the last 78 and 80, so 160 or so, 150. We're not going to get it all because a lot of it's wet, got water sitting on it, and we're just going to have to plant what we can get right now, and then we'll fill it in later if we can. So anyway, let's get back to the farm. It's dark, you can't see me. Anyway, I got the planter unhooked, got the bean planter picked back up. I did not hook all the hydraulics and hoses and everything because I can't see. You're supposed to have the tractor off when you're hooking and unhooking electronics anyway, so we'll do it in the morning. Well, we made it. Planting is done. Well, corn planting is done, and we're down to just the last little bit on beans. So thanks for watching today, guys. That was way more dramatic and eventful day than it needed to be. Stressful. We'll figure out what's going on with this track tomorrow and make some plans, but it is what it is. So yeah, cause for a little reevaluation maybe. I don't know. I still like that tractor. I mean, it's really good, and I can justify the tracks. I don't know that I can justify a $10,000 cost every 1,200 hours, and that's only for one of the 4 tracks. So yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, we'll worry about that tomorrow. So I promised you drone footage in today's video. It's not gonna happen. I have the SD card, but I do not have my SD card reader, and it is after 10 o'clock, and I'm not going to get it and editing all that tonight. Not happening. So sorry, we'll try tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Have a great night. Hit that like and subscribe button, and We'll probably see you tomorrow.